Welcome to the video, guys. So in this video we're going to be talking about how anime, gaming, even like watching the news, how all of this stuff is the equivalent of gooning. What I want you to think about first is, do you know, for example, when you're watching Netflix, you think about that trance-like state that you're in. It's very similar to gooning in the sense that your mind is almost blank and you're just consuming with your mouth open and you're not actually enjoying the experience most of the time. Like most of the time when you're scrolling on like TikTok or you're watching Netflix, how often are you actually smiling and actually enjoying yourself? Because most of the time you aren't. What it reminds me of is, and this comes all the way back from, it's from like Roman times, there's something called bread and circus. So in Roman times, what they used to do is the Roman government, they used to distribute bread to the population, and then they used to have like circus in the form of the Colosseum. What this used to do is they used to keep people fed, and at the same time, they used to, through the Colosseum, they used to entertain people. And what this would do is it keep it, like if you look at like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your basic needs are met in the sense that you're not hungry and you've got things to keep your mind distracted. So you're not going to rebel and you're not going to start to chase after things. It's going to keep the poor poorer and the rich richer. I know that that's like going to conspiracy corner and stuff, but it's very true. Yeah, people aren't going to complain and there's not going to be like rebellions and riots. What all of this does is it starts to create a childlike mentality and it continues on. So a lot of guys, they'll be like 25 and you'll have a very similar mentality to when you were like 14. You think about it now, for example, most guys, they'll watch like sports and that sort of thing and they'll get very passionate about sports. I've done it, so I watch like MMA and fighting. I don't really watch it as much anymore. But when you do, and let's say there was a big fight, for example, when John Jones beat Dominic Reyes, everybody's shouting robbery, everybody's saying it was robbery, and in that case it probably was. But there'll be fights where it wasn't a robbery, it was very clear who won, and people still chuck these controversial opinions out there. People will be kicking the chairs, they'll be getting angry, they'll be very passionate about sports when they're like 40 years old. These guys will be 40 years old and all the passion that should have gone into business or something else is all going into what? It's going into sports. And it's the exact same thing with like anime and games. It takes you out of the realities of life. You think about that now, when you're like watching and consuming, you're not thinking about a lot of the things that you should be thinking about. And a lot of the time, you know that you've got things to do and you will use them as a coping mechanism to procrastinate. You'll literally sit there procrastinating and you know that you've got things to do. And even if you do the work later, there's like, when you wake up in the morning, you've got like a completely clear head. And as soon as you start to watch things like that, it sort of takes capacity away, it drains capacity away from your brain for that day. And what will happen is as well, you just start to fall into a load of other bad habits. For example, you start to watch a load of Netflix or anime, or you start to game now, and then naturally because of that, you're going to go to bed late, and then naturally because of that, you're going to wake up late. And a lot of the time, you tell me if I'm wrong, a lot of the bad habits you do after doing one of these things. You'll literally game and then you'll goon. It's like connected. Or you'll watch anime and then you'll goon. It's the same sort of thing. All of these bad habits are connected. So you just need to sort of take them out from the source. Yeah, these things, they all make you content. So they're all distractions and they all make you content with your life right now. So you're not going to push for that next level. You're not going to do it because you feel happy right now. And happy is not the right word. You feel content. You're not truly happy. And you're not happy doing the things that you're doing. You're not happy gooning and you're not happy playing games. But your actual time is taken up. So you don't have time to actually like be introspective and look at your life right now and where you want to be, because you're distracted, like I said. So what should you actually do? What are the takeaways from this? So you basically need to stop. It's as simple as that. It's with any bad habit, you need to stop. And for me, the best thing that you can do is to go cold turkey, to just completely stop. That worked for me when I wanted to stop personally. I just completely stopped, and I would only start to watch things when I was with other people. And you don't want to be that weirdo that just, oh, I'm not going to watch this, and goes into the corner and just stares at a wall. You might as well do things when you're with other people, because you want to be in that sort of social mood, and you don't want to be that weird person, but at the same time you want to stop. So I would go cold turkey and only use them when other people are around. Or if you don't think that you're going to be able to do that, use blockers. And what this always reminds me of is, if I was advising you to lose weight right now and you really liked crisps, I wouldn't actually tell you to stop eating crisps. That might be controversial, I don't know. What I would tell you to do is, you're allowed to eat crisps, but you're not allowed to have multi-packs or anything in your house. You have to get up, you have to leave the house to go to like a corner shop, buy one packet of crisps and then come back. And just because of that blocker there, just because it's an actual thing that you have to really think about, a lot of the time you're not going to eat the crisps. And it's the same thing with this. Instead of watching Netflix on your phone, for example, you have to watch it on your laptop. And that's a very clear rule that you have to stick to. And the moment that you break that rule, you'll just start to watch it on your phone and everything else again, and you'll go back to square one. So you have to stick to this one rule. And yeah, just start to do that and put that blocker in place. But at the end of the day, it's very simple. All of these things keep you in a childlike mentality. They're going to keep you poor and they're going to keep you unhappy. So you need to stop in one way or another.